Hi travel fans! So in this video I'm going to be showing you the route that we're going to be taking for our Scotland road trip. So as some of you may have been aware, this summer we were meant to be going interrailing around Europe, backpacking on the train, staying in hostels, visiting 10 countries over about 3.5 weeks. Now, due to the COVID situation, a lot of the countries that we were planning on going to have either shut their borders to the UK, or they're considered by the UK as to be not safe, regards quarantining. So we'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks after getting back. But they've also got restrictions on travellers coming from the UK. Things like they'd like you to have, you've got to have a negative COVID swab done within 4 days prior to arrival. As we're not coming from the UK, that won't be possible. So we have decided, with everything that's going on and the fact that countries as well are being taken off that quarantine safe list for the UK, we've decided that we're going to postpone our trip. Now, of course, we are a bit gutted about this. This is a trip that I've been planning for a long time, but it's been postponed to next year. So at least it's not completely cancelled. It's just we're going to have to wait. So instead, we still wanted to have a break, and we considered going to places like Jersey and Guernsey and places like that, but a lot of places didn't have a lot of things open. So we decided instead to do a road trip instead of like a big train trip. So we are doing the famous route, the NC500, or the North Coast 500, and that is one of the most famous road trips in the world, with, as some people describe it, some of the best roads to drive on in the world. If you like mountains and lakes and forests and things like that, then from what I hear, this is the trip for you. So instead we're going to be doing that. We've got a lot of stop-offs along the way. We are spending 2.5 weeks doing the trip, but that also includes getting up to Scotland. So we're going via, we're starting the trip by going to Carlisle and into Glasgow. We're not doing that stretch at the bottom that goes from Inverness westward, just because we haven't got the time. And then after Inverness, at the end of the trip, we're then going to Edinburgh before heading home. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the route that we're taking. Hopefully you guys are excited. Probably not as much as me, but hopefully I'll give you a bit of travel inspiration for you to potentially go and do this road trip yourself. So without further ado, okay, so this is the route that we're going to take for the NC500. The NC500 is just this portion that you see all the little placement markers. Now normally you would start at Inverness and you drive across this bit, but it didn't make sense for us to do that, seeing as we wanted to visit Glasgow on the way up and Edinburgh on the way back. So we've just missed out that section, but we've also added in some extra bits. So I'll go through the route first, and then I'll show you how I do my planning. So we have Burton. So this is where we live, and on Wednesday the 19th of August, after my husband finishes work at 5, we're going to set off in the car driving up to Carlisle. I've not been to Carlisle before. My mum has. She says it's really nice. We're going to stop there for a couple of nights. Whilst we're there, we're also going to visit Hadrian's Wall, because we haven't done that before. And then we're going to have a quick visit to Gretna Green as well. So after there, we are heading on up to Glasgow, which is, I believe, the most populated city in Scotland and one of the most populated or biggest cities in the UK. Spending a couple of nights there. I've got this back to front, haven't I? Yeah. So after Glasgow, we're going to drive up to Loch Lomond, which is this stretch of water here. I'm going to have a bit of a walk around here. I've heard that it's really pretty. There's some waterfalls there that we might check out. And we're going to leave Glencoe for that day, because we're going to carry on up to Fort William. So Fort William is the largest town in the Highlands. They are infamous for having the worst football team in the Scottish League, consistently losing like stupid amounts, like 14-0. But Fort William has got something quite special. So one, it's got Ben Nevis, which is the tallest mountain in the UK, I believe. And also, you might recognise it for having a very famous train or train bridge. So the Glenfinnan Viaduct is made famous by the Harry Potter films. It is that big tall viaduct which you see the Hogwarts Express go over, and it's just beautiful and mountainous and green, and it's just stunning. So we're going to go straight up to Fort William, and at 2 o'clock that afternoon, we are going to do the train ride, and that train ride goes all the way to Mallaig. Apologies to anyone Scottish who knows that I'm pronouncing these things wrong. I don't know any better yet. And it's going to have a quick stop off there, and then it's going to come back. So the next day we're going to pop back down to Glencoe, have a look around that area, because that's supposed to be stunningly beautiful. And also there is a viewing point for the viaduct there, that if you make sure that your car's parked up at the right time, then you can catch the train as it goes over the viaduct there. And the train goes twice a day, so hopefully we can see the train. And the train slows down as it goes over the viaduct as well, so that people can, you know, take pretty photos. So after spending some time in Fort William, we're then going to drive back up to Mallaig doing the same route. Only this time we're going to take the ferry across to Skye, and we are driving to Portree. I don't believe no, Portree's up there. I haven't directed it to the right place. Spending a couple of days there, we're going to visit the fairy pools, and just have a walk around. We're going to hopefully go out on a boat trip, wildlife watching. After that, we're going to drive across the road bridge. We're going to go to Kyle of Lochlash up to Loch Carron. Loch Carron is where we're going to be staying for our second wedding anniversary. It's quite a quiet little village or town. There's not that much there. I believe it's quite a small place, but it's stunningly pretty. So hopefully I'll be taking some photos of the scenery, maybe uploading some videos to stories, or potentially even doing some lives. So we're going to stop there for a night, and then we're going to go on this famous bit of road. I don't know how to pronounce this, and I always say it wrong. Bilachnaba? It's a very famous stretch of road on the NC500. It's lots of hairpin bends, twisting, mountainous. I think it translates to something like Drover's Pass, because I think it used to be used for transporting cattle. So it goes over the mountains, and there's a viewpoint there which will be a good spot to get some photos. And then we're going to Applecross, which is a really cute little town. So this is the stretch of road that I'm most looking forward to driving on. I've seen some videos and some photos of it, and it looks amazing. So then we're going to come back over that same bit of road to go to Gairloch. That's another town. It's also meant to be very pretty. We've managed to get an Airbnb that overlooks the water. Oh, my route's disappeared. What's going on? There we go. And then we've got some lovely bit of windy road. This is a big day of driving, as you can see. And then we've got Ullapool. I don't know lots about Ullapool, to be honest, yet, but it's one of the stops on the NC500. And then we're going to carry on going up and up and up. So some castles. And we're going to make a visit to Loch Inver. This is a spot that people say is not to be missed. Say very pretty around here. The name implies, you know, there's a loch. There it is. And then we're going to come up some more to Kylescoot, and there's a bridge that we're going to go over there that's got a good viewpoint. And then to Scowry. And all the way up to, finally, the top to Durness. So this is right at the top end of Scotland. So then we're going to come all the way back down, and we're going to visit a place called Tongue. Don't know much about it other than it's got a cool name. Then to, why is it not showing me the name? Betty Hill. Then we're coming across and up to, oh, it doesn't help when these things are covered up, does it? Strathy. It's a nice beach there for a bit of relaxing. And my map's gone. Sorry about that, got the map back. Right, so from Strathy, going to have a little visit to Melvich Beach, and then we're going to come up across to Thurso, which is a slightly bigger town. Then we're going to come up round the coast. There's a castle. I love a castle, so I'm going to visit there. And then we have the famous John O'Groats, the most northern or furthest away, the biggest distance that you can travel in the UK is from Land's End down in Cornwall to John O'Groats. So this is the top point here. And then we're going to come down the coast to a place called Wick and keep coming down. Then we have Libster, then Dunbeath, and there's a castle here, so I'm going to visit that one as long as it's open. Then we've got Helmsdale, then Brora, not quite sure how to pronounce that. Then we've got another castle at Dunrobin, and then to Golspie, then to Tain. That's where the whiskey Glenmorangie is made. I might pop across to see what this Mermaid of the North is. And then from Tain, this is Alness. Ooh, too far. And then Dingwall was actually going to stop in a castle here. That's a hotel called Tulloch Castle. I love a castle, so I'm really excited. Then we have another whiskey distillery. Shame I don't like whiskey. This place is called Muir of Ord, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then Bewley, and then to Inverness. So from Inverness, we're going to do a day trip out to Loch Ness, of course. Everyone's heard of Loch Ness because of Nessie. We're going to hopefully do the boat trip, so we'll get to see the castle here, Urquhart Castle, and do some Nessie hunting. And then also, so this body of water here is called the Moray Firth. Now, I've known about this body of water for the last about 15 years, as I have a dolphin adopted from the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society, and the dolphins that are adopted, or that they have up for adoption, they frequent this body of water. And somewhere, I think it's around here, they actually have a centre, the Whale and Dolphin Conservation, and they do guided land dolphin watching. So the dolphins will actually often come in so close that you can actually see them from land. Not just dolphins, but sometimes some seals, potentially whales and other sea life. So really looking forward to that, and then maybe go out on a boat trip to do some more dolphin watching as well. So really looking forward to visiting there. And then we're going to come all the way down to, keep going, to Edinburgh. Edinburgh is one of my absolute favourite cities. I just love the atmosphere there. I'm not as fussed on the new town bit. It's nice and all, but I'm not really into chain shops. But I love the old town bit, and I love the history. If you haven't been before, or if you have been and you haven't been to Mary King's Close, where is it? Where's it gone? I can't find it right now. That's it, the real Mary King's Close. I really, really recommend it. Basically, under the streets of Edinburgh, there is another city, and when they wanted to redo it, they basically levelled off a load of the buildings and just built over the top of it. And Mary King's Close actually has some remnants of that old city underneath the old city that you're walking on. It's really, really fascinating. I've been twice and I want to go again. So yeah, I really recommend that. And then we're going to drive back home, which is the not so fun bit, and it's crashed again. Oh, one of the points I mentioned about Loch Inver, why to visit. So next to Loch Inver, there is a beach called there's a place called Achmelvich, if I'm saying that correctly, and it has a beach. Now you tell me that this doesn't look like something from the Caribbean. I mean, just look at that water. That can't be Britain. That's too nice. So going to look forward to hopefully getting some beach time in. So anyway, so that's the route that we've got planned. That's the trip. So hopefully you'll be joining me on my travels, virtually of course, as I post photos and videos. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Bye.